he's better than me. This man doesn't even want to say about you. But since you're trying to frame him as something that he's not, now he's gotta talk about you.
He says he didn't want to say anything about you, but since you want to frame him as something that he's not, you left him no choice. Again, respectfully, I like Preach a lot.
I still don't know what he did wrong. He was involved with a young lady who he obviously impregnated. Once she was, allegedly impregnated. Once she was allegedly impregnated, he actually wanted her to keep the baby. From my understanding, he went back and forth with this man up to 9 separate times, backtracking on her wanting to get rid of the baby. Alba eventually, after the 9th or 10th time, was like, listen, lady, I don't want anything to do with you. She went on social media and tried to destroy this man's name and accuse him of being, some sort of a misogynist, which his character online says that he's vehemently against. He's the type of dude that, some might call simp. I don't really use that term, but he's the kind of guy that's, very level-headed and very liberal and very thoughtful and considerate of women and all those things. So I assume that she assumed that anything contrary to that would besmirch his character. But personally, I don't feel like him eventually giving up on any measure of relationship with her or this child or not child, because it still hasn't been confirmed whether or not the lady was even pregnant in the first place. I don't think that any of that besmirches his reputation. Did I do that without cussing? Pretty dope.
But this is foolish. Okay? They have not only exposed Abba's private life, which you didn't want to get out to the public, and I understand it because it makes the brand look bad. But Abba is actually way worse than this. In his personal dealings with women, he's 100% worse. So you're right.
What, he slapping on him or something?
Okay. They didn't frame him as something that he's not, because at the time that you did this video, nobody thought that Abba was this bad. Even me. I'm in the comment section of the Preach video, like, yo, bro, glad you got the new channel. But the reality is, Abba's way worse than this. There are so many other women that have come forward. Some are workers. Some are women who live in the UK. Some are women who live in North Carolina. And
also, he been out there wilding. All right, I take back all that stuff I said before. Maybe I don't know the whole story. What am I missing here?
That has nothing to do with Stephanie and Libby. Now we're talking about 5 people from last week. 4 other people, okay? And the fact is that Preach is here on this stream, scrambling around, trying to make excuses for his friend, when his friend, literally, he may not get on camera and talk about women in the same way that Myron or Fresh does, but Abba is, from what they are showing, and he's not, he's admitted to the first 2, which was Stephanie and Libby, because he exposed the lady in Switzerland. So that makes me believe that the lady isn't lying about the subsequent 3, okay? In this case, Abba is even worse than Fresh or Fred. He's worse. When it comes to dealing with women, the tactics he uses, the level of abuse he uses, according to these women, is even worse than Myron and Fresh and Fit. The thing with Myron and Fresh and Fit,
I'm missing something very, very major. Let me look back. Let me look deeper into Abba. All right, y'all, will y'all allow me to do that? To look a little bit deep into Abba to see how if he's really this evil womanizer? All right, so it's a baby mama number 2. Young Dawn got that. Somebody else talking about Abba ain't living what he preached. Oh, he got another one. He got a little chocolate one too. Whoa, this is getting spicy. Surviving Abba.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's D. So it seems that the Surviving Abba series continues. The Abba files just keep stacking up. There is apparently a 3rd woman who has come out and said that she's pregnant by Abba, and don't just take her word for it.
All at once?
She has receipts.
Let me find out this is Stephon Alba. Go ahead, nigga.
Video footage of her at the doctor's office. She has the paperwork. She also has video footage of her with ABBA. And I saw it myself. I skimmed through it and saw that she actually knows ABBA. She's like cuddled up with him and everything.
Whoa.
So she is exposing all of this. She's not showing her face, but she's showing everything else. So there is a third woman. Something is going on here. I don't know.
Let me find out Alba down to give you a ride. Let me find out. Alba down to give you a ride down there and back.
If ABBA has like a breeding kink or what is going on? This is pretty wild. And then the last woman, the pregnant chick number 2, okay, in the video that we covered, there were some of ABBA's little fanboys coming over here. She ain't pregnant, she lying, and you trying to make ABBA look bad. She has video proof now, and I didn't even know this. This was put up a couple days ago because I stopped even keeping up with this. But there is video proof of her talking to ABBA, and he acknowledges that she was pregnant. Wow. So it's not that, she just made it up. She's saying she's pregnant in the video, and he's acknowledging that.
We found ABBA don't use no rubbers. He's from Somalia or something, ain't he?
She was pregnant. So it doesn't seem like she was lying about that and making that up. And I don't know how.
At least they ain't his cousins.
How you fanboys can be so confident about what is going on with that man's penis. Like you swing it from his balls. You were not there. So how can you confidently be like, you just trying to react to this for clout and ABBA didn't do nothing. The girl ain't even pregnant. How would you know? Are you?
Know. That's what I was saying. I was saying allegedly. I didn't know. Jesus Christ.
His nuts? How would you know? I'm going based on what these women are presenting. And go back and look at the very first couple videos. I was on ABBA's side. I have no reason to
I was too. In the beginning of this video, I was on the side.
Be against ABBA. I don't know that man. I don't know any of these people. I was on his side and said that this Libby girl seems crazy and that, he made some mistakes, but she seems like she's at fault here. Mm-hmm. I said that. But as more information is coming out, I'm going to be honest with what's taking place, and I'm going to give my opinion based on that. I'm not trying to slander his name. All
right, let's see the girl. Look like she got some video of the girls. Oh, I ain't see this one. I saw the one that looked like Michael Jackson. This was a little bit, a little hotter. Let me see. Okay. This nigga, I was going crazy up in Canada, shooting up the club.
Emergency contraception and...
Hold on, she talking about contraception.
All right, so let's watch that first.
Well, people were telling me that I didn't have any proof of the abortion, or that maybe because my English is so bad that I got the two confused, like between emergency contraception and birth control. I was really getting them confused. No, but I did get an abortion, and I just have to look through my insurance records, but I do have a phone call.
That's weird. It's very weird that you're doing that. Personally.
Who's she on the
phone?
phone?
I'm not planning to get back together with you, so there's no what do Okay, that is wrong. You don't see how when you get you got me pregnant. You tell this girl you can't get people pregnant. How is that truthful? That's not being truthful.
It's simple because when I went to go see the doctor, that's what the doctor told me after you and I.
The old I can't make no babies trick. Shout out to ABBA.
Okay, for context, so it seems that he got her pregnant first before Libby. Libby is the crazy ex-girlfriend, okay? So she's talking to ABBA after Libby came out exposing their situation and saying ABBA got her pregnant, and he was saying that, he had low sperm count and he can't really get people pregnant. Since that happened, she then talks to ABBA after that, and she's like, well, you're not being truthful because you're saying that, you can't get people pregnant, but you got me pregnant. And his response was, well, I went to the doctor and that was after you and I.
It's the same doctor. I never seen that doctor. I never heard of that doctor, but that doctor, it's a doctor out there to be telling people they can't handle babies. He be telling the girls that too when they tell you to take the condom off. That same doctor. We got to find that doctor.
So
it's probably Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. I don't know.
She's clearly saying you got me pregnant, and he's not saying, bitch, what you talking about? I ain't never get you pregnant. What are you talking about? No, he's saying, oh yeah, that's after you and I though, that I went to the doctor. So he's trying to say that, after he got her pregnant, then the doctor told him that he had low sperm count, which it's like, what?
It's only like 2 of them, shorty.
None of this is really adding up. It's just it's very sus.
You were the first instance of that. After that, I had to make sure I was good and I was fine.
If you couldn't hear, he said you were the first instance of that. So he's basically saying that this is the first woman that he's gotten pregnant.
But you won't be the last, shorty.
He's claiming.
And so I had health issues and I had some health issues. So I went to the doctor. That's what they told me.
Well, she told me this. She told me that you had also told her you were on some medication that would make you infertile. But that's like not the case. That's like really bad.
Okay.
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that I went to spend time with you and it took me so much effort and time and energy, and you were still telling your ex that you loved her. How's that not disappointing?
I don't feel bad for that. I still love.
Well, people were telling me that I didn't have any proof of the abortion.
Okay, I think she's just looping the clip and playing it again. But now that you
Right, so she ain't had no proof. She gotta have him in a napkin. She gotta have a little seahorse with her.
have the context, we'll just play it through one more time so you can hear.
Or that maybe because my agency can't get an abortion.
All right, what else you got? Okay, so you got Michael Jackson and you got this one lady. Who else you got?
Surviving ABBA. Hey y'all, I just wanted to pop in here and have a quick conversation about people who weaponize trust. I've talked about this a couple times on the channel in regard to ABBA, but we really need to drive this point home because what a lot of his fans are failing to see is that those years of him building that relationship with you by having good takes, by having nuance, by presenting himself as an honest person, now that he's collected all of that social credit, he is leveraging it against you in order
Gotta use your credit
to hurt and harm other people. He's weaponizing the trust that he built up with his audience in order to attack other people. I've already showcased how he did this to Stevie to try to paint him as an anti-black, that he hates himself, that he hates black people, even though that can be
He kind of cooked Stevie though. I'm gonna keep it on it.
further from the truth. Having criticism for black people and wanting the community to be better, wanting us to engage in better behaviors is not being anti-black. In fact, when you encourage those types of behaviors, the negative ones that keep us at the bottom, you are in fact anti-black.
I do agree.
So him painting the narrative that Stevie Knight was anti-black using titles of videos rather than showing clips of the videos and evidence from the videos, which is something that he criticized H3H3 for doing, criticizing a video based off of the title in order to showcase Stevie in a bad light. And I've already covered that. I showed the receipts. Obviously, the ABBA and Preach fans are deaf, dumb, and blind whenever it comes to their Lord and Savior. So we just got to charge them to the game. But what I want you guys to understand is that he is actively using you against people that he does not like, because from my perspective, it seems as though he's been suffering narcissistic injuries. Now, shout out to Blunt Girly because she's the first person I heard use that term, and it reigns true here. When someone feels slighted or jilted,
The internet will turn on you. This was the most respectable black man since Barack Obama. God damn. All right, well, I will stop skeeting at him, yo. Fucking wrap it up. Put on a rubber. Anyway, let's let Michael Jackson take us out. This is Michael Jackson's girlfriend.
And you said that he doesn't keep his household like you keep your household. That's really interesting to me. Tell us about that.
His home. Well, he had moved. Okay, remember when we had talked earlier and you said there are things that, like, if I didn't want to talk about it, I said I can skip this question. The lifestyle thing is probably what I don't want to talk about. They're really personal, and I don't want to paint him.
So you got a dirty house like Dr. Umar?
In that light, because it was when we had talked about it, it was very personal to him too, and so I can talk about the other stuff which I've talked about, but that I think is too touchy, and I know I've already come out there with that, but I think this would really be a betrayal, even though I know what I'm doing right now, to him. I don't want to go into that.
Is that what he said in his cope stream? That she was not trying to tell us? No, he told y'all that she was just happy to talk about all his personal details. You're over here talking about my personal details. But he's not going to tell you that she actively told Saint the Sinner, I don't want to talk about certain things because that's way too personal. That has nothing to do with any of this. I'm not trying to tell you that business. But he told y'all that that's not what happened. He gave you the narrative that she was just out here flapping her yapping gums about every little thing that has nothing to do about this situation, but just everything to do about Abba, which is sharing all his personal details. Oh, you're going to talk about what I like in the bedroom? But this is what she actually said.
In the case of Abba, he did a public interview and he said that he likes to be milked. And my understanding, and I'm a very vanilla, simple person, so I don't know entirely what all these the terms mean, but it's
to be milking. Shout out to the milkers.
Sounded like, if I understand correctly, he had wanted the woman to go up his backside or something like that.
I don't know.
Were you aware of that?
I didn't know that's what milking was. I thought that's when they shook you off on a table, like under a table.
I did not hear about that before I dated him. And I just heard it as being milked and I didn't know about it until like afterwards.
Until after the breakup, you heard that he was
until like after like the relationship started and everything like that. And I'm going to be honest, I just tried not to judge, and that was it.
Okay.
I mean, so I didn't look too much into it, and then I just hear people like making fun of it, and then I'm just trying to not to judge.
Okay. So does that mean that you could be with a guy who does that, or you could not? Because
what you trying to get milk, nigga? What is going on?
That you didn't say that was a relationship ender.
I don't think. So I don't really know what milking is. I think it's talking about like being. From what I understand, when I saw it, is like people when they're milked, they're like being pegged, right? That's how you are.
That's what I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't even know because I'm from LA and we don't really do all that stuff. Like I don't know if Canada is hitting.
Oh, they do all that stuff. Just because you don't do all that stuff, that they did that's where all that stuff take place, nigga. Anyway, apparently I was dead ass wrong and Abba's the devil or something. I don't know if he's the devil, but these ladies think he is. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please turn on your notifications so that you know when we drop.